Yes, boys and girls, hope every single one of you are doing brilliantly today, and welcome to the first official match preview on this channel, and that is for Chelsea versus Leicester at 2 o'clock on Sunday. I'm excited to get into this. Now, this is the game that, due to circumstances and news that I'm going to share with you guys in a minute from Enzo Maresca, I'm feeling fairly confident about it, and I am expecting 3 points. I think Leicester, obviously, we went to their ground earlier on in the season, and we gave them a very good game. Obviously, Nicholas Jackson getting on the score sheet, and overall, that's when we are in good form. Obviously, we have had a bit of a dip in form since then, but I'm still fairly confident. If we do look at what 3 points in this game would mean for us in the Premier League table, if we have a look, so currently we sit 5th in the Premier League table, 1 point behind Manchester City and 2 points behind Nottingham Forest. So, assuming, going off the basis that either one of them teams slips up this weekend, and we get the 3 points, we do find our way back into the top 4, which is where we belong. As I touched on earlier, Enzo Maresca did hit us with 2 pieces of absolutely brilliant news in his press conference earlier, regarding obviously injuries and team news. And if we get into that, Wesley Fofana confirmed he will be back fit to face Leicester on Sunday, which is absolutely brilliant news considering how poor our defending has been the past couple of months. With the likes of Levi Colwill, Tosin, even Trevor Chalobah coming back hasn't helped an awful lot. But Wesley Fofana is a massive plus. Listen, he's still not the finished article in my opinion. He is still error prone. He can still make mistakes. He was making mistakes before he did get injured. But nevertheless, I still think he is one of the best centre-backs at the club at the moment. I still think we need to sign one in the summer if we do want to get anywhere in this team. And then the second piece of news that Enzo Maresca had to give us was that Romeo Lavia may be back on the bench to face Leicester. I definitely would, if he is back fit, I definitely wouldn't start him against Leicester, given his fitness records. I think maybe if you want, even if we're winning, or maybe if it's a tight game, if you want to control the midfield a bit more, maybe you can bring him on last 10 minutes towards the end of the game. Just give him a few minutes under his belt before we do face Arsenal next week. But I wouldn't give him an awful lot of minutes at all, if I'm honest, just to manage him. But listen, we can always just not play him at all. If he gets on the bench, that's fine. But we can always just save him for Arsenal next week. But without further ado, let's get into the starting 11. This is going to be interesting. We'll start off in the goal. I'd still start Philip Jurgensen, but please, mate, no howlers. Just no howlers, man. Like against Aston Villa where the ball went underneath you. I'm still believing you. I still trust you over Robert Sanchez, but just please no howlers. We can't afford that. Now, right back, unfortunately, Malo Gusto did come off injured yesterday against Copenhagen. I am kind of gutted for him. So, in that case, I guess we start Reece James at right back. However, I do want to stress, I wouldn't mind seeing Josh Achimpong start at right back tomorrow. I think this is a perfect opposition to ease him into. I think Leicester, with all due respect to them, they are near the bottom of the table for the reason. It does look like they will be going back down. So, Josh Achimpong, I mean, against Mavididi is a good player, but I still think Josh Achimpong is a good enough defender to get the better of him. But I'd start Reece James, maybe give him a few more minutes. As our captain. Now, the 2 centre backs for me would be both Tosin Adarabioyo and Wesley Fofana. Now, if you guys don't know about me already, I am not the biggest fan of Levi Colwill. I think he is overhyped massively by our fan base. Listen, he's not an absolutely rubbish defender, but I think the way he's been performing the past couple of weeks, he's been playing like it. And I think he needs to hold bench for a bit, man. I really do. And I think Tosin's been outperforming him. These would be the 2 centre-backs I start with. Obviously, if Wesley Fofana is fit, as Enzo Maresca did confirm. And I think it's more than enough to get the job done. And then left-back, Mr. Consistent, Marc Cucurella. We don't need to say anything really on that. He starts at left-back for me. The 2 in midfield, Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. I have to say, I have been really, really impressed with Enzo Fernandez's form recently. He scored yesterday as well, just to top it off. But I feel like the role where he's going forward doesn't have to defend as much. Really suits him, and that's why I'm excited to have Romeo Lavia back. Not that he's going to start tomorrow, but you know what I mean. When Romeo Lavia does come back, and Enzo Maresca, we don't have to rely on Enzo Fernandez's defensive abilities. I think he thrives in that role. And Moises Caicedo, a lot of people are saying that they wouldn't start him tomorrow because obviously if he does get booked, it does mean he misses Arsenal. And with the level of refereeing in this league, you can't rely on them. But as Enzo Maresca said, we play our games to win. We need to win every game. So just start him. I trust that Moises Caicedo will be disciplined enough to not risk himself getting booked. And if as I say, we have Romeo Lavia back on the bench now. So if Caicedo does have to come off, eventually, then we always have that option. We also do have the likes of Dewsbury Hall in the midfield as well. So yeah, those would be my 2 in the midfield. Now the right wing, Cole Palmer, hopefully he can find his form in this game because, listen, let's not beat around the bush. He's been poor recently. He has been poor even yesterday against Copenhagen. Just couldn't really find his feet. But I find it hilarious how rival fans are so quick to get onto him after a bit of a bad run of form. But that just shows the level of the kind of player he is, man. Like, as soon as he has a bit of a drop off in form, the levels are just like, what's the word, astonishing. So astonishing to rival fans that they have to point it out. Because when he is on his A game, no one wants to talk about it because it's just a casual. Cole Palmer in form, Cole Palmer being one of the best in his position in the world. It's just standard. But yeah, hopefully he can find his form back in this game, man, because we need him on his game against Arsenal next week. And then in the cam role, the number 10 role, I would go with Christopher Nkunku. I think that is his best role, not as a striker or as a winger. In the number 10 role, where he can make things happen, he can be a bit more creative. I think that role suits him. He doesn't have to do as much pressing because he doesn't like to press it. That's been made clear now. With Christopher Nkunku, look, I still think he's going to get sold in the summer regardless if he finds form or not. I just don't think he's being played enough for his own liking. And I just don't think he has a role in this team. But as I say, he starts tomorrow because obviously we haven't got many options. We haven't got a striker tomorrow. So he'd start in the number 10 for me. Left wing, Jadon Sancho. Can this geezer please learn to shoot? Like, honestly, you do all the hard work, you get past the defenders, and then when you get in the box, like, your end product is just, it's not that it's bad, it's just, it's non-existent. It's like you just don't shoot. He's allergic to the B button on FIFA. But yeah, if he can get his shooting boots on, that'd be great. But Jadon Sancho, I'd start at left wing. And then Pedro Neto, listen, he's really thriving in this role as a false nine role. I think he's found his best form since he's been at the club. That was a brilliant goal against Southampton the other week. Running in behind. He, for someone of his height, he seems to hold up the ball fairly decently as well. But yeah, he'd be who I start as the false nine, and obviously Nicholas Jackson and Mark Hughes' absence. I expect him to score tomorrow. Not I expect him to score. I won't be disappointed if he doesn't score, but I think he can score tomorrow and play a crucial role in our win tomorrow. So yeah, Pedro Neto starts up top for me. So that would be my starting 11. The score prediction that I would go for, I'd say we're going to win this game. I say we win this game 3-1. I think that's a solid prediction. I still don't trust our defence enough to keep a clean sheet at home. Sadly, I will be going to the game, so if you guys do see me, feel free to come say hi. But I think we'll have too much for Leicester on the day, and I expect us to get the 3 points. That would be my starting 11 and my score predictions. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.